Tonight I have changed up a little bit. I know that probably shocks a few of y'all. No PowerPoint, so we'll have to, I'll get you from point A to point B in just a little bit. Now, Friday, what is Friday? Okay, now, men, you done anything? Alta's not here tonight because she's probably building flowers, and Brenda is building flowers, so they all working big time. So, it's coming up Friday, and if you need a place to sleep Friday night, you better do something between now and Friday. No. No. Y'all see, I'll tell you a little bit about that a little bit later. Tell me, men or ladies, how did you meet? How did you meet your spouse? Now, if you're not married in your house, I still got something for y'all too, so, don't leave. But how did you meet? At where? Oak Grove Baptist Church. How long ago was that? You can't count that far back? Well, let's see. Were you and Moses in the wilderness? Okay, how far back are we going to go here? So, all right. How did you know that Karen was the one? Be careful. Karen, how did you know that Dale was the one? For how many years? Wonderful. Wonderful. Karen, how did you know it was him? You still questioning whether it's him?
She still ain't sure.
Okay. All right. Somebody else. Where did y'all meet? Yeah.
We met in high school. I was the friend that she used to talk about her boyfriend with.
Oh.
Biding my time. The first time I saw her, I'm like, I'm going to marry that girl. She didn't know it. But that was the plan right from the first time.
Okay.
And I waited until the hurt was weak, and then I pounced.
Gotcha.
Wasn't her plan.
Yeah. And how did you know that he was the one?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Gotcha.
I friend zoned him immediately, and
You did what?
friend zone. I put him in the friend zone.
Oh, okay. Y'all, that's a term we didn't ever grow up on. We don't know what that was. Okay.
Sorry.
That is, yes.
No, he was a friend for a long time, and
We never even dated. We were just friends, and then we got married.
it was weird.
That's maybe the best way to do it, now that we think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, 34 years this year.
Gotcha. Linda, how'd you meet Steve?
Through Sharon, my friend.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. How'd you know he was the one?
I don't know, it's like Carrie.
What? That's what it was?
He was tall, had beautiful blonde hair, beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah.
And I just knew.
Gotcha. He didn't?
He didn't turn on as fast as I did.
There you go. Thank you. Somebody else. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, it sounds good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Somebody else. Yes, sir.
This is a true story.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, when it started.
I mean,
Right down to me. We went on a
Okay.
But here, we was down there in Cali. We was up there,
He's talking about Brother Ray, his brother-in-law.
anyway, we was up at the ballpark watching the women play softball.
Okay.
And there was a guy come up there and said, hey, man, there's a carload of girls down there today in the root beer stand.
I believe it.
There they were. So we got to talking to them. One thing led to another thing. Anyway, I took Brenda riding them a road runner, come back. And she told me when she told the girl, her sister, I'm going to marry that guy right there.
Wow.
I didn't know that about it.
You didn't. You didn't. They have that ability. Yeah, that we don't have a clue what's going on. They working their plan the whole time. Yep. Yeah, somebody else? Do what? How did I meet my wife? I will tell you, Roxy and I could not stand each other when we first met. I detested her, and she did not like me. We literally hated each other. I managed Burger King, and she had worked there, and we didn't work in the same store, but that's how we met. She worked at the one out by the college, and I worked at the one on 165 back then. And I was on a bowling team, and she was the recorder. She kept the score for the bowling team. It was the Burger King bowling. She kept the score. And we were at Bayou Bowl, and Anne Murray's song, Could I Have This Dance? Y'all know that? Could I have this dance? Came on, and she and I both started singing, did not know, and she was harmonizing, and y'all, my heart just doom, doom, and been in love ever since. I said, I can marry that. We've been singing since that day. So, and we've been married 42 years. So, yes, and she still can't stand me, but that's a whole nother subject, you know. And yeah, good days. I'm on a day-by-day basis, you know. I may get kicked out tomorrow. I've done mine. Now, you know, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna talk about Brother Mike that hadn't done his, but you have a plan. Yeah, I have taken care of mine. Now, for those of y'all that are single, I know how it probably is for y'all at the very beginning. You know, look, you're thinking, I just want somebody with a good job. If he just had a good job, you know, decent bank account, I'm fine. Then about 3 or 4 years down the line, you just hope he has a job. It don't matter if it's a good one or not. And then as the years progress, you're going, you know, okay, God, maybe teeth isn't really something I have to have. It's a plus too, you know. And then oxygen, you know, if it's not necessary, you know, we can unplug the machine, and that's the quicker he's going, you know, get out of here. So what I wanted to do tonight is many years ago, I taught a class here to couples about the 5 love languages. So we're going to discuss the 5 love languages, and I'm going to try to find out and help y'all figure out what your mate's is, and if you can enhance your marriage relationship from a godly standpoint about doing some of this. Somebody find for us 1 Corinthians 13. And God is clearly defining what love is. 1 Corinthians 13. 4 through 8. First Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 8. Can you follow with us, Daniel? I didn't put them up there, but you can type about as fast as I can, so he might get it up there for us too. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. Just shout it out, brother.
Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away.
Okay, so it tells us exactly what love is, doesn't it? Love is kind, and it gives us each individual one of those about what love looks like. yes, love in general, love for our brothers and sisters. It's, it's for marriage as well as it is for all mankind that God intends for us to love, and He certainly loves us. And we will talk about that a little bit later. The first one of the 5 love languages is words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. What are some examples of that? What would be some words of affirmation? Honey, you look great in that. Okay, good deal. Good job. Wonderful. I'm proud of you. Wow, that is powerful. I love you. Yes. I do. And if you change your mind, you'll tell her. But until then, you're good, huh? Gotcha. Yes, dear. That's that's a good one. Ephesians 4:29. Ephesians 4:29. Penny, Steve's sister, Penny, she's a Wagner now. When we first came here, and Roxy and I were singing, Penny walks up to us one day and she said, I wish I was married to somebody that had a voice like Brother Waylon's, and I bet he sings to you every night. And Roxy looked at her, and I said, yes, I do. All my exes live in Texas. But I do not sing her to sleep every night. No, Roxy said, shut up. It doesn't work that way. But it was funny that Penny thought I ought to sing to her every night. Ephesians 4:29. Who's got it? It's whoever. Read on, brother.
Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers.
Okay. Do we sometimes in our home life, our marriage relationships, and unfortunately sometimes to our children, say things that really don't lift them up, that really tear them down? Now, 42 years, when we first got married, I wanted to be that progressive husband. And I wanted to be, we both were working, and she worked in the day, and I was working at night. So, we be home at 2 different times. So I decided that I was going to wash the clothes. So I did. When I got over the chewing out that I got, which, by the way, was only last week, I apparently washed and dried a dry clean only dress. I didn't know the difference, but when I got through with that verbal beating, 42 years later, I have never washed another load of clothes in 42 years. I barely lived through that one. I was never going to go through it again. What'd you say, Matt? I didn't know if that was the plan, but no. And it's hilarious, and we laugh at it. By the time now, Roxy and I do not fight, and it's hilarious. But she will say something about, really, you wanted to put your pair of pants right there? And I'll laugh, and I'll say, yes, it's right by your pair that's sitting. Then we just start laughing. I was wrong to do it, but it's okay for her to do it. So we just start. I know that happens at y'all's house too, okay? All right, now the next one, so we got words of affirmation, and then we have acts of service. What would that look like? Help do the laundry correctly. Not mine. That's not one of my acts of service, but absolutely. What else? Do y'all take the trash out, guys? Okay, y'all are all talking to each other, but you ain't talking to me. Ron? Filling the car up. Wow. You better keep him. That's a good one. Filling the car up with gas. Yeah. Yes, y'all do. That is true. Somebody else. Helping with the dishes. Good one. What about cooking? And cooking, okay? Let me go on and tell y'all, if something ever happens to Miss Dawn, y'all gonna have to take food to every day because he ain't got a clue how to boil water, okay? He's gonna be, yeah, you gift card something because he's gonna be in a mess. I don't think you can make toast, brother, to tell you the truth. John 13, 14 and 15. John 13, 14 and 15. Who's got that? John chapter 13, verses 14 and 15. It's close. Okay, do you think that that is a tremendous act of service? Is to wash somebody's feet? Now, I don't know about y'all. Y'all, I have beautiful feet. I have very pretty feet. So now the whole lesson changes direction because Roxy just walked in. So now we're going to get real serious now, and, nothing. Yes, it does. It does. That's right. It's the whole thing. We're not even going to talk about. We're changing the message right in the midstream. Yes. Now, we hadn't even mentioned her. No, well, about as long as I have then, so that's good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Y'all believe that? Yeah, she's got a lot of y'all fooled. But acts of service. And but that is a very humbling thing. I have been in those services before, and it's very humbling to be a part of that. But what he's talking about that here is being the hands and feet of Jesus to the world and being to people. And being there to do the things that they need done, whatever it is that they do. We got a tremendous group of people around here that, if there's something going on in your life that you need help, and, I like to pick at him as much as I love him, but Wayne is one of those examples. How many of us call on him for all the stuff that we got every time we got a sink or, things that go on in our life? And the brother's always right there and doing acts of service, for each one. So many of our men and ladies in the church do that. So acts of service when it comes to our spouse. Now, receiving gifts. How many of you know what your wife's favorite flower is? And if any of y'all say Pillsbury, y'all, her favorite flower is what? Oh, brother. That's a stinkweed. That ain't no flower, Bubba. A blooming. That's a good one. That's a good one. Roxy's is irises. I've been knowing that since we've been together. So, do you know what yours wife's is? Sometimes you may go get red roses, and she can't stand red roses. She really likes yellow ones, Linda's is yellow. Somebody else. Now, I don't know, ladies, if y'all realize it, but there are times in the marriage life where y'all can be a little nagging. nagging and snippety and attitude-ish. That's a good word, isn't it? Yeah, it's a scale. Now, at my house, Lord, when Roxy gets that way, and I see y'all didn't even know she got that way, did you? Y'all think she doesn't? For all of these years, my children were saying, "Dad, will you please send Mama shopping?" And Roxy's gift is money. If she can go shopping, a multitude of things that's going on in our life goes right out the door. She is happy. She go 2 hours and she come back and she's fine, and she'll tell you that too. But she's content to walk around for hours. Her and Brandy Kelly, they go on weekend trips and they can spend hours and hours and hours shopping and never buy one thing, but as content as they can be. And no. If the mall waited for me, they'd be broke, because I don't think I've been there twice or 3 times since they put it out there. Okay? But what are some gifts that we can do? Spouses? Okay. All right. Good one. James 1:17. James 1:17. Now, I know that y'all are looking at me and my piercing blue eyes and legs to die for, and you're thinking, what else does Roxy need? I agree with you. I can't think of a thing. You know, she's got it all. Yeah, I'm hoping that covers a multitude of. James 1:17. What gifts have you received from God? Life. Eternal life. Yeah. I don't think that we could ever sit here long enough to name all of the things that our God gives us each day and throughout our life. We would be here for quite a long time. Now, this next one, Noel, is more on what you're thinking, is quality time. The next love language is quality time. Now, what does that look like? Examples of that. What kind of examples would that look like when we say quality time? Okay. Okay. All right. So what if we sit there, my recliner, her recliner, table in the middle, and we got our cell phone, and for 6 hours we're reading our cell phone? Is that quality time?
Not for her, it is.
Most people say it's going to the mall with your wife. Spend time visiting.
That's a lie straight from the pit. No, Roxy does not want me to go shopping because I sit on the bench and she's like, okay, let's go. You know, she can't, no, she don't want me to go. And I don't want to go. I'm real fine with that. I probably preached, and me and Brother Mike had preached many weddings over, and some of y'all in this room have done your families, and it's been an honor to do that. And when I'm preaching those, I often will say that, you know, marriage is sometimes like a 3-ring circus. Because you have the engagement ring, you have the wedding ring, and then you have the suffering. Depending on how it goes, you know. I went for probably 15 years, maybe 20, with no one that I married that divorced. Well, the last 5-6 years, no. There's many that I have done that are no longer together. I'm surprised some of them aren't killed each other, but you know, yeah. I tried to hold that record together, but it didn't happen. Okay? Luke 10, verses 39 through 42. Luke 10, 39 through 42. Yeah. Yeah. It, yeah. Time and quality time are two different things, aren't they? Quality can be that exactly. 39 through 42.
And she had a sister called Mary, who also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his words. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she approached him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Therefore tell her to help me. And Jesus answered and said, Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many things. But one thing is needed, and Mary has chosen that good part which will not be taken away from her.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay if that cup sits in the sink till you get back that afternoon. It's not that important that everything be put in, and you don't spend time with each other because you're too busy doing busy work. Now, Danny, your bride was a tremendous example of that. Sandy was OCD on steroids. Sandy had everything had its place and in its place. Even when she and I went to conferences together, before we could get in the car, she made up the bed in the hotel room of the places that we were staying. Who does that? And Lord have mercy. But you've got some of those kind. Now, it does not mean by any stretch, and Danny agrees that he and Sandy did not have some phenomenal quality time in those years. But we can get so busy doing stuff and think that that's more important than the companionship and the conversations and just spending time together and doing things, that you love to do. That may be sitting and watching TV. It may be sitting outside. It may be going, doing something, going out to eat. It may anything, but it's just that you spent time together with each other. The last one is physical touch. The last of the 5 is physical touch. What are those examples? Do what? Holding hands. Hugging. Yeah. Things like that, now, I will tell you that when I went through this study, can anybody guess what my love language is? Of the 5, I've given you all 5 now. Which one do you think's mine? Mine is words of affirmation. Okay? That goes a long way with me. You don't have to bring me my supper. You don't have to. Now, there was a time that, and y'all, yes, she loves me. But for many years, our schedule was the same, and it is now. I don't know why she hasn't gone back to it. But I love to take a hot bath. In the mornings, I want to sit and soak, and I want to clear my mind. And so she used to run my bath water for me. She doesn't do that anymore. For many years, she did that. I don't know at what point was she decided to change, but so let's don't ask her. Yeah, we won't ask her why she quit. Somebody look up Mark 10:13 through 16. Mine is words of affirmation. Roxy's is physical touch. Chapter 10:13 through 16. And she will do that. She will walk up to me and say, I need some one-on-one. And we'll hold each other. And once you realize that is the thing that they need, then you find yourself wanting to do it more. And because we don't consciously think about it because it isn't mine, But, and her knowing that mine's words of affirmation. Today, she sent me a thing that told how much she loved right in the middle of the day, And so those things mean a lot, in our relationships, and gives you that little ump of, smile along the day at a time in the day that today's been a day. So it was certainly something that I needed to hear. Mark 10, 13 through 16. That's the second time you've done that, Bubba. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And experience it. My oldest is 36, and we will still hug. All three of us, we've been doing it for years, where we all three get in a hug, and I kiss him on one cheek, and his mama kisses him, and we've been doing that since he was born, and we still do, and he's 36 and this tall. We have to jump to get up there, but we still... But the scripture that we're talking about is going to tell us that exact same thing, because not only for each other, but we need to do that to our children. And they need to see us doing it with our spouses, and they need to feel and experience that amongst themselves. All right? Put that up, Daniel, and who's got it? All right, go ahead. 16. What a wonderful example of what we should be doing with our children as well. I love for my grandchildren to jump in my lap. They were here this weekend. I don't know if y'all were here. You knew they were here this weekend. The little one was all on the floor acting like his grandmother. But we hadn't seen them in 3 weeks because they had COVID in their house. We had the flu. And then their other grandparents, he retired, and they went to, so we hadn't seen them in 3 weeks, which is not normal. So when we got them, one jumped in this arm, and they all loved to put their cheek up against my cheek. And we're just doing this and they're both whispering to me, "How you doing, Granddad? I missed you again." And I can just sit there and do that all day long. It's a wonderful thing. So we do need to be doing that. And it's okay to just stop in the hall as you're walking by and just grab your spouse and hug for a second. It's fine. Life's going to go on. We get in these busy schedules, but we ought to take time for one another. Okay, so we didn't do a song today, but Roxy and I are going to sing one. And Steve and Annie Chapman wrote it back in the 70s. And they wrote this song in 84. But in the 70s, he started writing. It's a husband and wife. They started writing. And they have been known, Roxy, come on. They've been known as the group that really kicked off modern day contemporary Christian music, was the two of them. And so we're going to sing and hope that it's a song called Circle of Two. And it just reminds us that, even through our busy day and the rush of the day, we can still take time to be together. We can still take time to honor God and through our marriages and our family as well. Daniel, I'm going to cut this off so you can just use the solo mic. All right, brother, we're ready. Still love me? Can you turn it up? There's frost on the window, the TV's turned to snow. We should have been in bed many hours ago. But the day has slipped right by us, and it's sobering to find that once again we've made the Lord the last thing on our minds. But there's still time. In a circle of two, a circle of two, you and I must rediscover why we're given to each other. In a circle of two, a circle of two, Jesus promised he'll be there anytime, anywhere he'll find a circle of two. There's time for the working and time for the playing, but we never seem to find enough time to pray. So let's put the past behind us. We can start again tonight. We hold my hand. We can make it right, 'cause he delights in a circle of two, a circle of two. You and I must rediscover why we're given to each other. In a circle of two, a circle of two, Jesus promised he'll be there anytime, anywhere he'll find a circle of two. Oh, he's waited and waited for us today. We can't make him wait any longer. Let's go to him now, you and I. We can make our love grow stronger. In a circle of two, a circle of two, you and I must rediscover why we're given to each other. In a circle of two, a circle of two, Jesus promised he'll be there anytime, anywhere he'll find a circle of two. In a circle of two, a circle of two. In a circle, a circle of two. In a circle of two, a circle of two. You promise to sing with me the rest of my life? Yeah, she's trying to see what the bank account balance is first before she answers that question. Life insurance, yeah, that's what she said. All right, yeah. I hope that encourages y'all to work at it. Relationships are worth, in today's time, 50% of marriages end in divorce, because the world today tells you, if you don't like it, go on, move to something else. That's not what God wants. God intends for us to stay married for a lifetime. Yeah, there's some things that say, look, I can't do this anymore. And God talks about those. But we need to understand the importance of it. There's 3 ceremonies that God sanctioned in Scripture: marriage, the Lord's Supper, and baptism. That's important to him. And we need to make sure it's important to us. I don't understand. I've seen it that couples that's been married 40, 50, 60 years that are in their 70s and 80s that says, look, I'm going to get a divorce. What? When you get that long, can't you just go to one room and he go to the other? Why? When you've been married that long, you can't do it anymore? Really? It's like getting to the finish line and going, no, I'm not going to cross it. Is it really? I just don't get it. All right, let's stand together.